She found a way into my heart. Oh, oh, she don't make up, no, she make art. And I need a way to treat it, cause I keep getting high off of her. Off of her. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you. Back to you. Back to long nights can get me feeling lonely. Hey. And hearing music that can make me smile. But the way I feel with her cannot be explained. But one thing still remains on my mind. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you. Back to you. I know that you'd be bad, bad, bad. I know that you'd be bad, bad, bad. I know that you'd be bad, bad, bad. I know that you'd be bad.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 18th edition of Mini RPG of the Week in Season 4. My name is Orion. I'm joined by 16th Tower tonight. Nua, sadly, is not feeling great, a little bit under the weather, so he's opted to put his child into our loving, tender arms. But yeah, we're feeling good tonight. Another edition. Yannick's winning the previous edition, and who knows what could be to come this week.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see it. I think we've got a cool map lined up for us. It's called Mini Manganese. It was designed by one of our mappers, Zenlane. This is, I think it's not only the first map from Zenlane that's ever been on Mini RPG of the Week. I think from what I was hearing, it's actually the first map that they've ever completed. So it should be interesting to see kind of how our players get to grips with it tonight. Yeah, like you were saying, Yannick's kind of took the win last week. So it's interesting to see kind of how that's going to go. Kind of, I guess, if there's an overarching narrative maybe in Mini RPG of the Week right now, it's this sort of battle back and forth between Yannick and Scandier. A couple of other top players in there as well, but Yannick and Scandier are definitely up there sort of in those top positions. Hopefully we'll see both of them tonight. Hopefully we'll kind of see that battle between the two of them develop a little bit more as well.
Yeah, I think that was actually, if my spreadsheet is up to date, that was Yannick's first win of Season 4. Scandier currently has 7, and behind him we have Hazard and Morpio, and then a whole host of players with just the one win to their name. On the overall leaderboard, Hazard is right at the top with 12, Yannick's inching within 1 last week on 11. Scandier is on 9 overall, which is kind of crazy given that 7 of those have come in this season.
Yeah.
Then we have Ice on 8, Marius on 7, Lars on 4, and then we start getting multiple players on the same number of wins. Reminder as well, Nua is not here, but I will do the plugging for him. Tickets for the Mini RPG of the Week Ultimate LAN are still currently on sale, I believe. Deploy can tell me in my ear if they're not. They are still on sale. So if you want to go to that LAN, which is Deploy is going to tell me where it is. I can't pronounce that. It's in France.
In France.
Somewhere in France. Then yeah, if you want to go to that, be a part of that, go get your tickets. There's also Mini RPG of the Week merch available online, I believe. Hoodies in 9 different colors, t-shirts. I'm trying to remember. I might be getting some of this wrong, but go check it all out. I'm sure that there'll be some links in Twitch chat being dropped.
I don't know. I certainly can't hear you right now, Orion. I don't know
You can't hear?
Muted or not.
Oh, that's odd. Deployer can hear me.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Wait.
I'm still getting like stream audio, but I can't hear you whether or not you're live.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Hello. 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 1, 2, 3.
If we got chat there, can anyone in chat hear Orion right now?
Yeah. Can everyone hear me? Deployer can hear me, and Deployer is saying that I'm going out on stream. Let me hold on.
Okay, I do not know what's going on.
All right. How about now? How about now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
You can hear me now?
Yeah.
I think we're fine.
Yeah, it's back to being fine. I don't know what was going on.
I literally just I left the call and rejoined, and we're fine. Okay, disaster averted. Disaster averted. Maybe let's start getting into the match.
Okay, yeah.
Here we go. No technical difficulties here, and here we are with the GPS. Very nice indoor vibes here for this map. The mapper says he wanted to make an indoor platform mini RPG. He's tried to recreate the vibe of older RPGs, so kind of your TMNF style indoors, but hasn't used those custom blocks, has stuck with the brand new TM 2020 blocks, but lots of jumps, lots of transitions here, potential for maybe some landing bugs or just dodgy landings. Seems like you've got to keep a lot of momentum to make these transitions.
Yeah, definitely kind of seems like an interesting map that we've got designed here. We're coming up to, I think, one of the sections that the mapper's end lane kind of specifically wanted to highlight, sort of between checkpoint 2 and 4. He said that was kind of like one of the parts of the map that he maybe felt the most proud about. Definitely looks like there kind of are a lot of those interesting transitions crammed into that bit there. Yeah, definitely a cool sort of aesthetic to the map tonight. I'm liking the look of it. Purple, it's got to be one of my favorite colors, so I'm happy to see such a nice purple map as well.
Yeah, I'm noticing no risky fin, but also I'm noticing a lot of places on the track have one red arrow and one green arrow. So even if you're not on the optimum line, there is kind of a safe route that you can go for, which is good to see. Some maps, if you end up clipping something like a transition, it can kind of snowball a little bit, but those kind of safety exits, shall we say, do allow a bit of an escape route if you do clip somewhere and don't have the speed for the next section like Scandir does there. But we have our first few people
nice
completing the map.
See something like that. Especially kind of, I think in a map like this where there are sort of, you know, it's a bit of a platforming focused map. There are a lot of jumps and stuff like that. It's nice to see kind of those sort of safer routes for the players to help them recover a little bit if they do mess up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Scandir on a pretty decent run right now. Might end up clipping this pole, not quite. I feel like there's a lot of time to be gained here. Like, this is one of those, it feels like one of those kind of threading the needle maps where precision on the jumps is going to be ultra important, and maintaining speed over the jumps, getting all of them cleanly. Like, with every transition, there's probably, you know, half a second you can gain to optimize. So I think we're going to see quite a spread out field here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Scandir up the business end of it. We'll see what this time ends up being. Fastest so far is a 1:13.3 from Wingo Bear. Scandir currently 1:05, and he's only got a couple more checkpoints to go here, as if that might be the finish, and it is a 1:09 from Scandir, straight up the top of the times.
Yeah, not bad. He really kind of shaved a lot off the previous stop time of 1:13. I think we were seeing like maybe a 1:06 being predicted as maybe one of the faster times that we might see on the map. Interesting to see kind of whether that holds true or not. Obviously, we're still in the very early stages of player exploration, but in Zenlane's notes, he himself was kind of like, maybe 106. I'm not sure. It could go even lower. And yeah, I think exactly what you were saying, Orion. There is a lot of opportunity here for just through precision and through getting exactly the right line on all of these jumps and corners to shave a lot of time off. So it's interesting to see how low our players might be able to drive the record tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. More often than not, that time that the mapper gives does tend to be beaten, and quite considerably in some cases. We're currently at a 109 by Scandir, who is known to lower his time significantly throughout the time trial, and then some again during the course of the rounds. As we see a first 108 from Luces. We're watching Speed Self at the moment try and navigate the jumps.
I mean, if anyone's going to set a good time, you would think Speed Self.
Yeah, he does seem to be kind of in discovery mode at the moment, not pushing too hard yet, as that's how punishing the jumps can be. Nice little reset there, though, actually, with the red booster, so that's quite a fortunate little thing that the map.
It's not too bad. I think it kind of maybe ties into what we're saying with kind of like the risky and the safe routes. It does seem to be quite a forgiving map. Which is interesting. I feel like often on Mini RPG of the Week, we see maps that maybe lean more towards sort of being a bit tilting or being something that kind of, you mess up, that can kind of really set you back, might annoy the players a little bit. This map seems to be sort of embracing a bit of a different ethos, something that maybe punishes people less for one mess up.
Yeah, for sure. We're on board with Ice now, though, who is the first player into the 107s, and it's a 107.4 as well. So we've only had, 5 minutes of discovery so far-ish, and we're already knocking on the door of those 106s that the mapper was saying could be possible. Ice seems to be the candidate to get there. Scandir now drops a 107 as well. So the top 10 right now is down to a 113. So 6 seconds from 1st to 10th at the moment. Quite a big skill gap, but obviously that will close up as more players are able to get their eye in with the map, figure out where their optimizations are, figure out where they've got to drive safe to be consistent. And then in not too long, we'll get into those rounds.
Yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see. Also, as it is Season 4, once we get into those rounds, we will be seeing kind of our fancy new elimination mode. I guess it's not new anymore. It's been around for 18 weeks now, but it is still fancy. You know, if you haven't watched Mini RPG of the Week since the old days, Season 3, Season 2 maybe, we used to just do kind of simple enough elimination. Bottom players were gone at the end of every round. That is no longer the case. Now the bottom players are put into the fearsome danger zone, and then their performance and whether they stay in or leave the game for tonight is based on how they perform in the next round. So that kind of creates a little bit more drama. It creates a little bit more kind of spectacle in the matches, and we're going to be seeing that on this map once we get into the rounds in about 5 minutes time. Riding with Luces now. Luces kind of one of the first to set kind of one of those sub 110 times, but everyone else is, well, sort of starting to catch up. We've only got 6 other players who have done it so far. Interesting to see how Luces is kind of taking the map so far. Not a great moment there, a little bit of a bump, but it is the discovery phase. We expect to see stuff like that. And yeah, seems to kind of not been set back too much by it, and just getting to grips with what to expect in the map.
Yeah, we saw both Luces and Ice trying to take that similar line there, just going way inside just before the jump. Trying to eke out kind of every bit of speed that they could to make the jump, but it doesn't seem to be too successful. You do have to toe a fine line there as we see Ice go face first into that wall, not carrying enough speed through the map. Scandir is now at the top of the timings, still a 107. We are almost in those 106s. It is a 107.0 from Scandir. Blistering pace there, but I'm sure that we can still go faster.
Yeah, I think the 106 is definitely within Scandir's grasp. We should be seeing it, I think, before we get out of this sort of registration phase. And that's exciting, because if we already hit the sort of target time that the mapper was talking about this early, it's interesting to see kind of what crazy times we might spot once we actually get to rounds.
I'm not seeing Yannick's, though. Last week's winner and second on the all-time leaderboard. I haven't seen a time from him yet. Not sure he's in the server, which does give Ice an opportunity to catch back up. Hazard in there as well, who I believe, from memory, is the current all-time GOAT of Mini RPG of the Week with 12 wins.
I think so,
He's
yeah.
currently sat in 6th place on a 109.0, so currently 2 seconds off Scandir, which is quite a gap, and quite a gap to close once we get into rounds. Wingo there doesn't PB. Oh, yes, he does. A 107.2. It just didn't update. So, yeah, nice time there from Wingo, splitting Scandir and Ice.
Yeah, not bad.
And Morpio up there as well, another recent good performer.
Yeah, it's interesting to kind of see, you know, how the players are just getting more and more to grips with this map. And it's interesting because we have our spreadsheet of like, oh, these are, you know, the top performers in Mini RPG of the Week. This is how many times they've won. And it's interesting to see like those names just slowly start to pop up in the right on the local records just as more players join. And we kind of see that spreadsheet nearly recreate itself over there on the times for the map.
I think Morpio was actually on pace to break the 106 then, and then right at the last transition just clipped the quarter pipe before the finish and lost about half a second or so. Does go fourth with that time though, and the pace is there. We're right on board with Morpio now. You can see players opting for different turnarounds here. Some players opting to go clockwise, some players opting to go counterclockwise. Is there a faster option? Not that I've seen so far. Maybe once we get to the latter stages of rounds, we might see which way is faster, but I mean, at the end of the day, you've just got to turn around, so I don't know if there's necessarily an optimization there, or I'm just kind of gaslighting myself into thinking that there is one.
Yeah, I guess you want to turn around as tightly as possible, but at the end of the day, I'm not sure kind of whether it's done clockwise or counterclockwise. I'm not sure exactly how much time you're going to save. For some reason in my head, the counterclockwise turn is faster, but I think that might just be like a quirk of my brain rather than an actual true fact about the map. Morpio coming close to the end of this attempt right now.
Oh,
yeah, unfortunate. Had a nice bit of speed going kind of with how they were performing, but that little bump will do them no favors. Yeah, went for a full reset by the looks of things.
yeah, that looked like an absolutely banger run, but it just shows like if you end up off one transition that you maybe get a little bit awkward and don't have the speed for the next one, it can snowball. Like we talked about these safe routes, but ultimately for the top players here, if you do make that mistake, it is really going to hurt you. Yuzo with the awkward landing there as well just shows how the map can kind of chew you up and spit you out. So yeah, we were saying it was merciful, but it does seem to have a sting in its tail as well.
Yeah, I think it's the kind of thing where maybe it's merciful in the first couple of rounds, just for like, oh, you can mess up once and it doesn't mean you're automatically going to end up in the danger zone. But for our top players who are chasing that kind of winning position, who are always going to be one to sort of staying inside the top 5, the top 10, that mercy, if anything, it can almost be like sort of an insult where it's like, oh no, it's fine, you can recover. You're never going to recover to the position you need to recover in, but you know, there's a little bit of recovery there.
Well, we're into the 106s, courtesy of Wingo Bear and Scandir. Wingo on a 106.3, Scandir on a 106.8. So time's definitely tumbling. 105s now don't seem out of the realm of possibility. Is it going to be Wingo, Scandir? We've also seen Beta Toast jump up the order as well with a 107.1. Dart also on a 107.1. Ice on that 107.4. So down to top 10 now. It's only about 1.5 seconds, give or take, from Wingo's time all the way down to Artis in 10th.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of see how it develops. Yeah, sort of everyone in that top 10 right now is sort of chasing that 106. Artis probably really hoping to get a 107 in before the warm-up round ends. Unlikely to happen, only about 10 seconds left before we get into the sort of rounds proper. But yeah, it's a nice sort of set of times to look at heading into rounds, I think.
Yep, well, Wingo ends the time attack with the fastest time at 106.3. I'm not sure that Wingo has ever won a mini RPG of the week before. No, I'm not seeing him on the leaderboards at all.
This could be his chance.
Yep, could be a first win here as we go into round one. Cars all over the place. Beta Toast into the wall. One of the top players actually there, making a very early mistake. I'm right in saying we don't do a warm-up round, right? Or is this a warm-up round?
This is technically a warm-up round, so no one is going to be eliminated this round, but the bottom players will be added to the danger.
Okay, gotcha. Yep.
Yeah, seeing some good times from a lot of our players coming in. Ice doing a great job at staying sort of ahead of the pack for the entire race so far. Morpio not too far behind him. Vortex also doing quite well. Yeah, a nice solid top three. Will any of them manage to get a 107 or even a 106 on their first attempt of a proper round? Morpheo is certainly battling it out to be him over Ice, but unfortunately that is maybe one of the trickiest sections of the map we've seen. We've seen a lot of players in the sort of preliminary round have a bad time there, and it follows Morpio into our first round of the match proper as well.
Yeah, it's actually Shonix there taking the top spot with a 108.7, but yeah, we did see Ice and Morpio battling it out, and ultimately both of them made mistakes. As you said, not an elimination round, but the bottom 8 will go into the danger zone, so this battle here might be important. Yizop with a little bit of a touch there. Is he going to be able to make this jump? Just about. Goes over to the right and minimizes the distance to travel. Does make it up into 59th and should be safe with that. And I think everyone is in, so we have a danger zone of 10 players now going into the second round.
Okay. Yeah, so we're going to see our danger zone coming in now. So we've got these lovely graphics popping up to show us who is now in the danger zone, who is at risk of elimination. A lot of DNFs, a lot of just blank times. I assume these are players who we have lost already, so that danger zone becomes a little bit safer for many of the people in it who are still active, because they do not have to worry so much about what's kind of at risk there.
I'm trying to follow cars based on car skin, but the overwhelming purple is just making everyone's car look exactly the same. It's going to be so hard to follow in rounds when it gets down to like the top 4, trying to see who's in front. It's like the purple one has just overtaken the purple one.
No, you really need your reading glasses on tonight if you want to tell these different players apart from each other. Yeah, so we're riding with Z-Cub right now. Z-Cub, I don't know. In the middle of the pack, seems to not be doing too badly. Keeping safe from the danger zone as he's coming into these kind of jump and turn section here as we get close to the end of the map. So yeah, it's interesting to see kind of the way things are developing. Wingo Bear there, not too far ahead of Z-Cub, our top player in the sort of early round. But along with Hazard, doesn't seem to be having too great of a time this round. Both of them hanging back in the mid-30s. Not technically a bad position, but for two players who we saw doing really well, it's probably not where they want to be either.
Yeah, Dracomis,
unfortunately,
looks to be going out here, although not everyone has finished just yet. He's currently in 68th and just on the cusp of that danger zone, but it's Sash Lebos just in front. I can't see Sash Lebos though, 3 seconds. Oh, there he is with a reset. Dracomis overtaking and hitting the wall immediately afterwards. Trading blows.
He had it for a second.
Yeah, it kind of seems like the nature of the map really for all of the players. You have it for a second, but I think these guys are going to get knocked out anyway. They're not even going to make the finish. There we go. More players than we thought was going to be knocked out just because of the time constraint in the end, not able to finish the round.
Yeah, I guess, we were saying it's merciful. It's merciful maybe a little bit, but yeah, it seems like that time is pretty tight. And if you make a couple of slip-ups, you're going for a lot of those safe routes, you're just not going to make it. So we've got our new danger zone now here. Got a couple of players in it that we might sort of recognize the names of. Mrotw, Necroglacia, Edicott. Used to seeing these guys on Mini RPG of the Week competitions. The names above all the players, they're back now. They had disappeared for a couple of seconds. It was just a field of purple cars, but we can tell people apart right now. We are riding with Mrotw in that danger zone, in the bottom of the danger zone currently, so he really wants to pick up some speed. Hopefully a lot of people will get some bonks and he will be able to push himself back into, at the very least, that top 5 of the danger zone where he'll be safe for this round.
Yeah, I feel like you probably have about 2 lives in terms of two mistakes, 2 resets. Like, the map is proving challenging enough for the slower players, shall we say, that 2 mistakes you still probably get in, but we've seen 2 so far, and there is 3 from Mrotw.
Unfortunately, the 3rd mistake on the same jump. Yeah, I think the 2 lives, it sounds pretty accurate. It sounds about right. Maybe 3 if you can be really good. And unfortunately for Mrotw, it's kind of added up to a little bit more than 3 there as well.
Yeah, he's now, what, 7, 8, 9 seconds behind, and I think at this point our Stormbringer hasn't finished yet, so there is still a chance, but yeah, he's got to overtake 5 players in the same number of checkpoints really, and it's starting to seem unlikely. Zaku makes it into the finish, and unfortunately for Mrotw, he is out of this one.
Yeah, Stormbringer did fall back a little bit. Necroglacia managed to, at the last minute, just snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. But unfortunately, there was not enough dropping from the top for Mrotw to be saved. So that's going to be it for them for tonight.
I haven't looked at
the players popping back into the safe round now and see who are the new members of the danger zone. Necroglacia survived the danger zone last round, unfortunately is back in it this round, so is going to have to pull out that kind of 2 in a row driving if they want to escape from it for real, rather than just kind of be safe in it.
Yeah, just turning our attention to the top of the times, I saw a 106.8 there from Mrotw in the previous round. It is still a 106.3 from Wingobear that is the top time. Mrotw 106.5, Scandir 106.8. So we've got 3 players in the 106s right now. Artis with a 107 flat, Betatos with a 107.1, Dark with a 107.1 as well. So I would say the top 6 pretty close right now. There does seem to be a bit of a gap. And Wingobear and Mrotw probably looking the best right now. But obviously, you can't ever count out Scandir. His consistency in rounds is second to none. And he's won 7 Mini RPG of the Week in this season for a reason.
He's just... there are some maps, some nights where you watch Scandir and it just feels like he's playing a different game to the rest of everyone else. It's interesting, I think, that it doesn't seem to be happening, at least yet, on this map. Kind of like you were saying, Wingobear, Mrotw, they are actually ahead of Scandir on that timetable. Might mean we end up with a close competition at the end, and it might not even be between Scandir. Right now, it looks like Wingobear and Mrotw, they could kind of be the 2 neck and neck in tonight's competition, which will be interesting to see.
Black Pulse just missing out there on that danger zone, 8/10 from safety. But that is going to be another 4 players eliminated in this round. And I think we've cut the field in half now, haven't we? We're down to less than 50 players.
Yeah, that's kind of how quick it can go, even with the danger zone. Or maybe not even with the danger zone. I feel like the way the danger zone works, it can actually nearly cut down things faster. Because if you have 1 bad round, but you're normally used to like being kind of in the middle or the top middle, you can then just be eliminated if you get those 2 bad rounds in a row. So it kind of means that then in the next round, there's less medium skill level players and more low skill level players. Does that make sense? I'm not sure.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing Witch Tower into the danger zone for the 3rd time already, and out of 5 rounds, only 4 of which have had a danger zone. So 3 out of 4 danger zones, he's been in it and survived all 3 so far, or all 2 so far. We'll see if he can survive this one. Currently right at the back of those danger zone players 44th position overall. Driving semi-cleanly, should have the speed for this jump as well. I think he's just playing it ultra safe, like not taking any risks, going for that green arrow there, following the safe route. So it is putting him in danger, but it's not putting him in peril, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think like we're seeing kind of definitely following those safe routes, and we're seeing maybe some kind of wide lines. But if you look at his performance in previous rounds, even his performance in this round, where he has managed to sort of crawl his way up to that barrier between the sort of elimination zone and actually being put out. Unfortunately, that bump there, couple of them in a row, that might be the 2 lives gone for Witch Tower. Seems to currently still be ahead of Gonta earlier and Aruta. But Gonta manages to pull ahead. Gonta now battling with Nicolig to see which of the 2 will be eliminated. Nicolig is not on site, he's just through. So unfortunately for Gonta, even with taking these riskier routes, it's not going to make a difference for tonight.
Nope, couldn't make it there. It was 12 seconds behind safety. So a good round from those 4 players. Top 4 players in that danger zone. And another 4 eliminated. A 106.6 from Beta Toast. Great times in rounds. 106 is being driven consistently at this point. So I feel like that is going to be our winning time. If you're not driving the 106s, it feels like you're at a disadvantage at this point.
Yeah, it definitely feels a little bit like what you need. It's interesting to see that the 106 kind of has stood so far. We were like, oh, you know, Zen Lane, they weren't 100% sure whether the 106 was going to be accurate or not. Still a lot of time left tonight for it to be beaten, but so far it doesn't seem like it was maybe too far off the mark as a prediction.
Yeah, it feels unlikely that we'd see it in rounds, because obviously TimeAttack, you can push these jumps as hard as you possibly can and have no real consequence from it, but we've seen how much this map can bite, how quickly things can go wrong. So the players up front are still driving insane times, but I don't think that they're trying to kind of push their PB any lower during the rounds. That may come when we get down to the top 10, top 4, and like final scenarios, but as of right now, the players just want to make it to the end so they can fight for the top spots.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good prediction of how we might see the times play out. I'd be a little bit surprised at this stage to see a 105. Riding with Sushi TM right now. Sushi was kind of battling it out for safety within the danger zone earlier, but seems to be in a pretty safe spot right now. 27th, currently 33rd is the mark of, 32nd is where Z-Cub is, in that dangerous place within the danger zone.
No!
Yeah, very unfortunate. Very nearly had Mr. Plus there, but just not enough to carry it through to the next round, unfortunately.
Yeah, he clipped the last turn, clipped his rear wheel, on that last right-hand drift, was actually ahead and had the speed, but yeah, that clip allows Mr. Plus to survive for another round.
Yeah, be interesting to see if Mr. Plus can hopefully carry that even more forward and actually survive for a couple of more rounds, not just the one there. Seems to have escaped the danger zone for this next round anyway, so he's safe for at least the next 2 rounds.
Hold on, Yuso in the danger zone, and he's already been in twice.
Yeah.
That's quite a shock.
Yuso has been unlucky. I think the last time Yuso was in the danger zone, I think he got out in like 8th place, so he managed to pretty handily escape it. But it is interesting to see him ending up there twice, kind of this early in the night. Yeah, again, currently in 2nd position, so I'm not too worried about him getting out of the danger zone again, but I would be maybe interested in seeing if there is a specific part of the map he's struggling with that is what's seeing him get placed there so many times.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier as well which way to turn at the start, anti-clockwise or clockwise. Doesn't seem like there's a particular advantage. I think one offers a tighter turn and a faster exit, but the other offers more speed on exit. So ultimately, it seems like they cancel out. And Yuzo seems to be surviving this danger zone pretty handily. Currently in 6th place, just behind Marius, who I hadn't clocked until this point. Didn't see him up at the top, but you know what nickname Marius has, the Safe Meister. And this feels like one of those maps that you can kind of ultra safe, like, because there's so much risk involved. The safe route, well, obviously he'll be going the red route, but there is potential to drive this map safe.
Yeah, I think like as long as you keep your speed up and you have your lines pretty tight, you can sort of reliably be safe and not have to do anything too risky on this map and have it still carry you through pretty well. Uso managing to get out of the danger zone pretty well there, but the other players who are down there, you know, maybe not doing exactly so well. Uso finishing in 5th, the rest of them, the lowest after that is Yogg in 21st. Still enough to be safe, but for 3 of the players, unfortunately, they didn't manage to pull off a good a time as Uso. It's another thing about the danger zone. You see a really good player in there and you're like, well, they had a bad last round, but I'm about to have a really bad next round. Speaking of good players in there, it looks like we got Wingo Bear in our next danger zone. Currently
And Artis
second
as well.
or third on the leaderboard. Yeah, Artis too. Yeah, it looks like... What's the best way to describe it? I guess it's kind of a map where you can just have that one bad round. And in that case, a lot of players are probably pretty grateful that we're playing this with the danger zone rules. So that one bad round doesn't just see you being completely eliminated straight away.
I do want to highlight, we have a new player at the top of the timings. That is Scandir with a 105.7. Now 6/10 clear of Morpio in second on a 106.3. And then only 100th behind him is Wingo Bear on a 106.3. 7-8. That's who we are on board with now in the danger zone, but doesn't seem to be in too much danger yet. Driving a clean round so far, but maybe driving a little bit safer than he might have been in the previous ones. Just wants to get to the end of this, get out of that danger zone, and start challenging his competitors right at the top again.
Yeah, it's. I was saying earlier, I would be surprised to see a player get 105. Scandir is maybe the one player who I'm not surprised to see get the 105.
Sure.
Just can pull out some incredible times sometimes. A really tight danger zone this round. We've seen kind of nearly everyone except for Wingo Bear battle in and out of it. Unfortunately, Drips has stayed pretty close to the bottom for the whole thing. It's not exactly over yet, but it's pretty over with just not being able to pick up the speed in these jumps, unfortunately. It doesn't look like Drips is going to be carrying through to the next round.
That actually looks faster though. That wallbang he's doing genuinely looks quicker than the drift. Like it's hard to judge, but it did for a second.
I think it's the kind of thing where like if he had time to lab it, he could definitely pick up a lot of speed doing it. But
yeah,
I think maybe for the rounds based format that we got here, trying to just nail it and work the wallbang to pick up the maximum speed and carry it through that jump, I think that might actually be what saw Drips eliminated.
Yeah, we're getting some rough danger zones at the minute. To escape that danger zone in the previous round, you had to finish top 10. We now have Ice, Yuzo, Luces, all in the danger zone. So, yeah, like, good luck finishing in front of those guys.
Yeah, it is not a good time to be in that danger zone. We have just seen sort of consistently high-performing players ending up there. In that the players are consistently high-performing, but also consistently high-performing players are ending up in that danger zone. So yeah, if you're, say, Yogg, who we're riding with right now, you got to be pretty worried about the fact that Ice and Uso are both kind of battling for that safe position with you. Ice not doing too bad in 26th place. Currently, you got to be at least 22nd if you want to overcome Viper and get into that safe portion of the danger zone. And yeah, Flo and Yogg are on his heels, but it just... it doesn't look like they're able to maybe pick up the exact speed they need to do it. Uso now dropping into the bottom 4. Seems like really having kind of trouble with some parts of this map.
I was going to say, at a second and a half to make up, but it seems that Hollow has made a mistake, falling all the way to the back of the field and pressing the DNF button. So it's only going to be 3 players eliminated on the track. Uso makes that jump cleanly. And we've got Aura behind, 3 seconds behind, but he's not going to make it in front of Yuzo, despite that clip at the end there. And the players we thought were going to make it, although Lucis actually is out here, did not clock until then that Lucis was out. I think he's got a top 10 time, I want to say.
Certainly was doing really well in those preliminary rounds anyway. I'm not sure his exact time.
Oh, okay. He set a really good time early on, but it seems like he's dropped down the order a bit. Probably a 108-ish. Everyone in the top 15 now is a 107.5 or better.
Yeah, but yeah, even Uso kind of just barely managing to survive. Interesting to see how that's going. Looks like Morpio now is going to be the top player for tonight, who has ended up in this round's danger zone.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, just that danger zone is a very scary place to be this evening.
Yeah, we've got Morpio Jam for the second round into the danger zone here. But yeah, I think we'll expect Morpio to walk away unscathed in this one, barring a complete catastrophe. We haven't seen too much of Yannex either, who is usually up the front of the field, but we are seeing Scandir, Ice, Morpio 1, 2, and 3 right now, followed closely by Beta Toast. Yannex not too far behind. Hazard as well, a player that we haven't talked about for a while, trying to tie Yannex, trying to go one above Yannex for all-time wins. Currently sat on 12, Yannex on 11, so that battle continuing to be wagered between those two players. Current danger zone, Morpio actually not having a good round here, and he's a good 6 seconds off of Jam.
Yeah, this Morpio, we were saying, kind of, you know, one of the first players to get the 106. He was in that top 2, top 3 consistently. He might struggle to survive to the next round. We could be seeing an early upset elimination here.
Well, Jam going safe.
Yeah. Jam.
Nah, Jam's in. Morpio's out.
Yeah, Jam's in. Morpio's out. That is an upset. It's upsetting for him. It is an upset of the times that we have seen so far. Just two kind of, well, one bad round and then one not great round. That is unfortunately for Morpio enough to see him eliminated.
I'm seeing a nice time from Wingo there, and I'm wondering what Scandir has just driven. Are we into the 104s potentially?
Oh God.
That would be ridiculous. 105.3, which I believe is a new best time.
It is, yeah. 104
second faster than Wingo.
He's a full second ahead of Wingo. Morpio is his next competition after that, who has just been completely eliminated. Scandir, maybe as usual, got to be feeling a little bit safe right now. But I don't know. We still might see him in that danger zone. We've certainly seen a lot of our very skilled players end up there tonight. Marius, Uso, Ice, Artis, all ending up in there right now. 4 incredibly good players in an elimination zone where only 4 players can get through.
Yeah, stacked danger zone, but we're seeing Scandir once again pull a gap. To me, it's feeling like it's going to be Scandir versus Wingo. Scandir for his 8th win of Season 4. Wingo for his first win ever in Mini RPG of the Week. That's quite the storyline, so we'll keep you posted on how that unfolds. But in terms of this round, Ice, Artis both in right now. Yuzo and Marius both out. They need to be getting to the top 5 if they want to be in this danger zone. This is the most stacked danger zone I've ever seen, and Marius even safing is struggling. Can he get in? Yes, he can. Bayron only 2 tenths behind. That was a real fight there, as I imagine the bottom 4 people in the danger zone thought like, oh yeah, I'm pretty safe here. And wait, what the top 4 are in the top 5?
You literally, like, if you wanted to be in the top 5 in that round, you had to either be Scandir or be in the danger zone. It's just sort of insane times that we're seeing here. Unfortunately, Uso, we've kind of been focusing on a bit tonight.
Yannex?
A real battler has ended up in there a couple of times. And unfortunately, this is the time where Uso is not going to escape the danger zone. Yannex is now going to be in the danger zone, it looks like, in the next round. So, you know, Wingo Bear's in there too. It's still not safe. Anything is happening in there.
And Hazard.
Hazard for good measure as well. Why not?
Jam has had 5 danger zones so far and survived all of them. This is his 6th, I want to say. No, this is his 5th. But yeah, another stacked danger zone. Wingo, Yannex, Vortex, Hazard, Jam. We've got Dazzle as well. Yeah, okay. So this if the last round's danger zone wasn't stacked enough, feast your eyes on this one.
It really is. I feel like every round we're just like, wow, this is a pretty bad danger zone to be in. And then we get to the next round and it's
Wingo?
even worse. It just keeps one-upping itself.
Wingo is miles behind
at this stage.
Wingo is miles behind. He's a full 8 seconds and making mistakes. There he goes. DNF from Wingo. Yeah. That, to me, opens the door for Scandir, who is head and shoulders above the rest right now.
That's crazy. Wingo, and Morpheus both did incredibly well, have set some really good times, and unfortunately for both of them, they just got those 2 bad rounds in a row. Wingo out on a DNF. Scandir, if it was there, is now brushing the sweat off his forehead. It looks like unless we see someone else emerge, kind of setting those low 106s or even squeaking into the 105s, Scandir may be about to walk away with it. Yannick's another incredibly good player at the bottom of this danger zone. Looks like he is in real kind of danger of being eliminated too.
Yeah, he's
Jam
out.
gone too, yeah. Yannick's great player, gone. Jam has managed to consistently survive those danger zones. Couldn't do it when stacked up against the sort of power that we've seen in there tonight, unfortunately.
Yep. 5th time unlucky for Jam. Did manage to survive 4 in a row, though, which is quite the run. We see Viper in for his 4th time. Artis, Beta Toast, Marius, Speed Self. And we've still got 20 players in the lobby as well. Like, this is a really stacked week in terms of the players that we're seeing.
Yeah, it's interesting to see as well how like variable performance on this map has been. I feel like with very few exceptions, we've seen nearly sort of every player who's left in the top 20 end up in the danger zone at least once. Like, I feel like definitely more of the survivors tonight have been in the danger zone than not. There's been a real sort of variance in how players are finishing. I guess due to the platformer nature of the map and just how easy it is to have that one bad round that gets you sent there.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it was I casted this 3 weeks ago, and Scandir made it all the way to the finals without even having a danger zone. I did think we saw a respawn from Scandir there, though. I saw a standing respawn from someone with a red tag. Nope, never mind. He's up the front. Where else would you expect him to be? It must have been Marius then, with that OK boy tag. 18th at the moment, but he is actually miles off the safe zone. That's Dobry at the moment.
Yeah, nearly 10 seconds behind.
Yeah, that feels like Marius going out, Speed Self as well. Yep, Hostile and Flow all out in this round.
Yeah, just truly kind of brutal. We're just seeing a lot of really good players. Kind of, even Marius, I think this was his 1st danger zone, or if not his 2nd for tonight. Carrying through consistent round after consistent good round, but then just those 2 bad rounds in a row, as we see more and more players eliminated as well. So unfortunately, Flow, Marius, Speed Self, and Hostile will all be eliminated and not carry through to the top 16. Bit of a safer danger zone now. Only 4 players in it. One of them is Ice, so the other 3 probably are a bit worried. But they're not doing too bad themselves. Sushi, another name we've seen in the danger zone a couple of times tonight as well, has managed to kind of safely carry through it in the past. It'll be interesting to see if they can do it again.
Yeah, Ice has definitely had his fair share of danger zones at this point, though, so I'm wondering when his luck is going to run out. But we are down to the top 16 now, and everyone driving a lot more consistently. We can see Sushi 13th currently, but only 7/10 off the leader, who is currently Fate. I don't know where Scandir is. Can't see him. There he is, coming through the bottom of our screen there. So it might be a danger zone for Scandir here. I mean, doesn't seem to have all the speed. Boy, he is pushing like hell, though, and making up places. It's like an F1 game where you've just set the AI to easy and you're working the way from the back in the hass or something like that. Like Scandir is
truly,
on an
like,
absolute
it does
tear.
just sometimes feel like there's nearly rubber banding in play. Not making any accusations, but like you'll just see Scandir mess something up, and where it's a place you might expect another player to kind of be delayed a bit, Scandir will just pick up speed where it looks like no one else is.
He's just gone from last to like 3rd and made it
It's
look
insane.
effortless.
Like, this guy was maybe born to play Trackmania mini RPGs.
Yeah, genuinely. We are going to say goodbye, though, to Sushi and Fate. Ice, as you predicted, does make it through. Artis now into the danger zone for the 4th time. Vortex for the 2nd. We've also got Zezzy and I'm not seeing the name of the other player, Dark, who I believe is into the danger zone for the 1st time. This doesn't decide top 10. We are still a round away from top 10.
Yeah, this will bring us to
12.
top
right?
12. Yeah,
Yeah.
top 12. Yeah, I'm looking at the danger zone. I'm like, oh, 4 people are going to go this round. No, it's only 2. That danger zone, it starts to get smaller and smaller, and it happens really rapidly. Artis, not doing too great. 9th of 12th right now. Certainly not being separated too far from that pack. Definitely still fighting for his place, but he might be a little bit worried. Manages to squeak ahead of Zezzy. If he can keep that up, he should be able to carry himself safely through. But Zezzy is riding kind of not far behind him. Ooh, that is unfortunate. Just did not have what he needed in that jump there. And that's not going to work out for him. Vortex and Dark have managed to pull ahead though. Artis and Dark now kind of neck and neck battling for that space alongside Vortex of who will get to escape the elimination zone.
Yeah, I feel like the battle here definitely between Dark and Artis. Artis just in front, but Dark, is he going to have more speed here? No, it's pretty much equal as we're going to go into the drift. Dark opting to go more on the inside. Artis is going to have the exit speed and get the jump. Artis still just in front. It seems like it's running out for Dark unless Artis makes a clip at the finish, but he doesn't make it in.
Oh, that was tight. I was not sure who had made it there or not at first.
No, me neither.
By a nose, Dark managed to take it. I feel like even Artis thought he had that with the wobble, but he fell off just a bit too early. Dark kept the speed up. That was some pretty tight racing there. If you're Artis, you have to be kicking yourself right now.
Yeah, I thought he was in. Like, even with the crash, I thought he'd just managed to get his tyre through, but 100th was the difference. And now this round brutal. To decide our top 10.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at this stage, we're still technically in the top 12. A very, very strong top 12. All of these players, I'm feeling like it's kind of the couple of people who we haven't seen in a danger zone tonight. They seem to be mostly the players who have stuck around into this top 12 that we're seeing right now. Dark had a very lucky round last time. It'll be interesting to see how they perform this round. They will at least be safe from immediate elimination, but if they can stay out of that danger zone, they will secure themselves a pretty safe spot in the top 10 as well.
Well, we're seeing Paz at the back, but saw someone make a mistake there. I don't know if it was any of our danger zone players. Paz falling a little far behind, needs to catch up to Varys, who is only just in front. Viper now dropping back. You can see him just in front of Paz there. See who gets the most speed out of this one. It's still pretty even. Paz 2 seconds behind the front runners. Goes very low on the jump there, risking it all. Seeing Bans with a mistake, so Paz going up 1 place, but still needs to overtake either Varys or Viper if he wants to be safe.
Yeah, Varys and Viper, they're both in sight there, but they're both just managing to keep a little bit of speed ahead of Paz as well. Varys getting pretty close to Viper. It doesn't matter too much for safety, but it might be nice for Varys to jockey for that position. Paz hasn't managed to catch up with them, unfortunately. A wall bang from Viper at the end, though, and Varys seems to have had a mess up. In fact, I was talking lies. Paz did manage to catch up with them. Both of them, unfortunately, made a mistake where Paz didn't, and that consistent speed carried them through. Viper managed to recover a little bit faster than Varys, and Varys and Bans are not going to make it into the top 10, unfortunately. Ice is now back in the elimination zone. In there with him is Dark, and I think we have got Viper and Paz still in there as well. So even though both of them managed to carry it through safely in the last round, not safely enough to not still be in very real danger of ending their competition.
Yeah, it was someone into the wall right at the start, and it was Viper, so he's going to be way behind. And it's going to be between Dark, Paz, and Ice to decide who is going to get eliminated here. Viper, no chance for comeback at this point, 5 seconds behind. But Paz not too far behind Dark, only about half a second at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on those two. Meanwhile, Skandir and Beta Toast up the front are lighting up the timing screens. I saw a few very nice times in chat in the previous round. So I think Skandir has just set another PB, which is a 105.3. So slightly improved his previous 105.3. And that is a big mistake from Paz, who I don't think is going to make it in now. Viper has hit the DNF button, and I wouldn't be surprised if Paz is going to be pressing that button very soon as well. 8 seconds off safety.
Yeah, it's just unfortunately for Paz, really not recoverable right now. Even if we saw the mistake that managed to carry Paz through, like from Viper and Varys in the last round, I still don't think Paz could recover. Heading into the top 8 players now, I think we've got Scandir with that 103. Of the top 5 times that are on our leaderboard, 2 of them have been eliminated with Wingo and Morpheo. So it's Scandir, Ice, and Beta Toast, who are current top 3 players. Scandir currently a full 1.2 seconds ahead of Ice when it comes to top time. 105.1. He is really shooting for that 104 before the end of tonight.
That would be insane. Haven't seen him in a single danger zone yet, by the way, Scandir. 100% consistency so far. I've barely even seen him make a mistake. Like that one round where he was at the back and just kind of then came through and got into 3rd place. Just a cut above at the moment. We are on board with Scandir, but we do have a 1v1 for the first time in that safe zone. It is Dark versus Dobry, who are only separated by about 0.5 as we go over the little quarter pipe turnaround. Dobry trailing to Dark at the moment, who is having a great round so far. A little bit slower there over the quarter pipe jump, and Dobry catching up slightly, but I feel like it's going to need a mistake from Dark in front if Dobry really wants to catch up and get into safety here.
Yeah, I feel like Dark is nearly at this stage now as well, where he's almost getting comfortable in that danger zone, or maybe comfortable is not the right word, but I feel like we've seen Dark in the danger zone a couple of times. He's had a mistake. Dobry's pulled ahead. That will be the end of it for Dark. I was saying he mightn't be feeling the pressure in the danger zone anymore. He's been in there enough times. Maybe if he'd been feeling a little bit more pressure, he mightn't have pulled off a mistake like that. That is an upsetting way to finish.
What has Scandir just driven? Oh my word.
Oh, okay, well, there it is. I said it might happen.
That's the 104.
He is, he's currently about 1.5 seconds faster than any of his competition. Hazard has made it into that top 5, got a 106.3, a very respectable time for anyone who is not Scandir. He's on another level. It's crazy, folks.
I'll play devil's advocate here, right? When I casted the edition 3 weeks ago, Scandir had a 100% perfect record, made it all the way to the grand final without being in a danger zone, and then lost to Hazard in that grand final. Does he make up for it here? I mean, you've got to think so. With the way that he's driving, that's looked absolutely faultless so far.
Yeah,
if you were a betting man, you bet on Scandir, right?
I think so. Even when you kind of think about, okay, if we're starting to think about finals, we're down to only 7 players left. Who do we expect we might see in there? I think Scandir is looking kind of like a lock. Alongside Scandir in there, I could see it being Ice, I could see it being Hazard, I could see it being Beta Toast. Scandir doesn't have to worry about being Beta Toast. Beta Toast is, he's 2nd place right now, but Vortex is right on his trail to knock him out in that elimination round as well. Vortex picking up the speed to go neck and neck with Beta Toast. Manages to just pull ahead.
Wow.
That is very unfortunate for Beta Toast. Felt like he had a pretty comfortable round there, and then Vortex at the last minute just stole it out from under him.
Yeah, Vortex took that drift super wide, carried the speed through, overtook on the jump, and then was able to hold it through that last turn. Great snipe there from Vortex, who has been in probably about 4 or 5 danger zones at this point. It's 3.
Yeah.
Not going to be 4 this time, as he managed to get 2nd in that round. It's going to be Ice versus Hazard. Could have quite easily been a grand final matchup, and I'm pretty sure we've seen these two face off in finals in Mini RPG of the Week, but it's going to be in the danger zone here for top 6.
I mean, I think I was saying last round, who might we see in the finals against Scandir? Hazard, Ice, Beta Toast. Beta Toast is gone. One of Hazard and Ice is going to be gone as well. For Scandir, who already was looking pretty comfortable, he's just got to be feeling more and more safe about what he might be able to do in our finals tonight. Ice and Hazard both racing really, really well in 2nd and 3rd position. Dark kind of fighting with them for it. Unfortunately for Hazard, Ice has been able to carry that speed just a little bit better. Managed to squeak ahead, but Ice takes it back pretty immediately. Or not. They're pretty neck and neck right now. This is a very, very tight danger zone.
Yep, almost inseparable. Hazard seems to have the speed advantage here, though, as we go into the faster downhill section. It's all going to come down to the drift and who carries more speed from the jump. We see Ice trying to take that tight line. Hazard gets a nice drift, but I think Ice slightly more speed. No clip there from Hazard. And if he keeps it this way, he should be able to get in. Is he going to clip the finish? Not quite. Hazard does make it in. Ice eliminated.
Ice eliminated in 3rd place with a pretty great time of 107.7. Unfortunately, in just the brutal danger zones we've seen tonight, it is not enough. Hazard safe, Ice eliminated, Dazzle and Dobry for our next danger zone.
Yep, Scandir still with that big 0 next to his name, the only player throughout the entire edition this week to not be in that danger zone. Just absolute machine. But we are going to see Dazzle and Dobry face off here. And I think Dobry was about 17 seconds off the lead in the previous round. Had an absolute stinker. So we'll see if he can make amends here. Oh.
That's unlucky.
That's rough.
That is unlucky.
That's rough.
I mean, at least it was early enough in the map that he didn't get his hopes up. But yeah, that is just a real faceplant right into the wall.
Yeah. Game over.
Yeah. 13 seconds behind. Yeah, that's not recoverable, unfortunately. Dazzle safe into the top 4 alongside Hazard, Vortex, and Scandir. Although it doesn't look like Dazzle is going to be safe for long. Seems right now he's kind of at the back of his pocket 4. Scandir had a bump. We could see Scandir's first elimination around here, or he'll just drive like Scandir and somehow pick up the speed to safely get out of it. Doesn't seem to have done it so far. Vortex, Dazzle, and Hazard all managing to kind of just keep ahead of him. 2 of them going for the safe route there. They felt like they could do it with Scandir in the back. Yeah, Scandir into the elimination zone. Dobry still trooping, 29 seconds behind, but still giving it his best shot. Yeah, surprised by that. We're going to see Scandir in the danger zone before we get to the finals.
We are. He's going up against Dazzle, though, who has not been too dazzling, has made it to the top 4 through sheer consistency, but has been in that danger zone 3 times. Scandir with what looks to be his first mistake of the entire week. Is now in a 1v1 versus Dazzle. You see, takes the alternative line, and is it faster?
For Scandir, it seems to be. He's managed to push into 1st place. I'm not sure if that's the line being faster or if it's just Scandir's lines everywhere else being so tight, though.
Yeah, it goes much tighter just before you go through like the narrow tunnel section. Gains about 0.2, 0.3 there. So Scandir once again into a comfortable lead in the round. Dazzle is going to have his work cut out here to catch him. Scandir really needs to make a mistake for Dazzle to benefit, but given that Scandir has only made 1 out in 22 rounds so far, it does seem rather unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, hoping for an opponent to make 2 mistakes in a row, it's unlikely against anyone. Against a player like Scandir, who's made 1 mistake the entire night, it seems like it's almost a 0% chance. Has just carried through an incredible time in this danger zone, and yeah, safely makes it through in 1st place. Dazzle eliminated. Scandir, Hazard, and Vortex will be in the top 3 for this evening. Vortex and Hazard battling it out to see who will follow through to the final and go up against Scandir there.
Yeah, I think both are worthy finalists. Vortex has survived 3 danger zones so far. Hazard 2, they go into their 4th and 3rd respectively. So good luck both players. Hazard so far has been the more impressive player for me, but Vortex has just been able to hang on in there. That's a slight clip though, tiny little pixel clip, but it has cost him about half a second relative to the 2 front runners.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small clip. It might be all that matters when you're in the top 3 and kind of performance needs to be as high as it is. Hazard actually doing a pretty good job at keeping neck and neck with Scandir, even pushing ahead of Scandir a little bit in some sections. Hazard is definitely going to want to carry this performance through into the next round as well, when it looks like he'll be going up against Scandir in the finals. Scandir's made a mistake again. Unfortunately for Hazard or Vortex, whichever one will be facing him in the finals, it's too late for that mistake to actually matter too much. Scandir will be safe into the finals anyway. In fact, I would say that it looks like Hazard. Yeah, Hazard looks like Vortex had the speed. That clip there means Hazard will take it through into the finals, and I think Hazard right now is probably wishing that that mistake from Scandir could have waited maybe just an extra minute or 2.
Yeah, Scandir I mean, he knew that he could full send that round, right? He wasn't
Yeah,
going to
he
be
was completely
eliminated,
safe.
making the grand final no matter what. So that was Skandir pushing, but it was even as we go into the grand final. Hazard versus Skandir. We saw this 3 weeks ago, and Hazard came out on top. Skandir, for his 8th win of the season, would be historical in Mini RPG of the Week, but they start out neck and neck here.
Yeah, both going for that kind of different turn on that early pipe. Skandir managing to pick up a little bit more speed than Hazard, staying ahead. It's not that close, or it's not that far. Skandir is pushing that gap wider and wider, but Hazard is doing a pretty admirable job at keeping up. But I think, look, we got to say it, I think Hazard is hoping for a clip or a bonk from Skandir if he really wants to take this tonight. Skandir has just been playing out of his mind this evening, as he does most evenings.
Yep, it's Skandir's to lose at this point. We've seen him clip here before, though. On this quarter pipe jump, it's just the last drift to go, and I don't know if Hazard is going to be able to push enough. He's got a bit of a wonky landing as well.
Yeah.
Goes full inside. Skandir is going to have the exit speed on him too. Couple more turns to go. Skandir going safe. Hazard has the speed. Can Hazard get the slide? Yes, he can. Hazard capitalizes on Skandir going the safe route and takes victory here.
That is it. I feel like that safe route was almost more of an attempt at a flex that might have gone badly than anything else. I don't think that was something Skandir had to do. He seemed safe to go the risky route to me. I'm not sure what happened there.
I saw someone in chat type that he got a land bug. I didn't see it myself, but Skandir must have judged that he just didn't have the speed and had to go on that left-hand side.
Well,
Crazy
I mean, yeah, we were saying Hazard has kind of got to be hoping for maybe a mistake or a clip from Skandir. It turns out that wasn't what he needed. Skandir just had to go for that safe route. He didn't feel comfortable with that riskier path, and Hazard did, and that let him pull out the seconds he needed to just widen that gap and take the win at the last minute. Very close competition. Yeah, really interesting map. Had some really tense moments tonight. So
yeah, with that win, Hazard takes his tally for season 4 to 3, puts himself undisputed second behind Skandir with 7, and the all-time leader gets another win to his tally, 13 now. Overall, puts 2 wins between himself and Yannick's. Yeah, the GOAT of Mini RPG of the Week gets another win here, and it seems like I'm Hazard's lucky charm. I said 3 weeks ago, edition 15, Skandir faultless throughout, made it to the grand final with Hazard, and then Hazard picked up the dub. So it's all happened here again. Deja vu.
yeah, Hazard's going to be sliding into your DMs now after this match. Just trying to get you to cast as many mini RPGs of the weeks for the rest of the competition.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll be joining the official Hazard team. You'll be sponsored to fly out to LAN, of course, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can be Hazard's official cheerleader if he wants to fly me out. I do not mind that at all. But
yeah, really, really tight competition tonight. Skandir carried it through really well, but unfortunately just didn't feel safe in the end to go to that risky route. Really nice map. Thanks again to, let me make sure I'm saying the name right, Zen Lane, who is our mapper. Yeah, really nice map. Created some really interesting competition this evening and some nice, really dangerous danger zones, which were great to watch as well.
Yep, another fantastic edition of Mini RPG of the Week comes to an end. This has been Season 4, Edition 18. We will see you same time next week for Edition 19. And don't forget, tickets for the Mini RPG of the Week Ultimate LAN are on sale right now, and you can get your Mini RPG of the Week merch. I'm sure there'll be some links in Twitch chat. If not, join the Discord, get involved. But that is all she wrote for this week. Hazard with another monumental win. See who is going to come out on top next week in the next week's edition of Mini RPG of the Week. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you then.
See you, folks.